Welcome back, everybody. This time we're going deep. Botulinum toxin.
Botulinum toxin.
Yeah,
Better known as Botox.
That's right.
Botox?
It's most people.
Yeah, Botox. But that's really just like scratching the surface of this.
Yeah, just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, like I was reading some of these medical reports and scientific papers and...
Oh, and don't forget the prison lore.
Oh, yeah, the prison lore. We got some good prison stories about this stuff, too, and it's just amazing to me.
Yeah.
Like, how could something be so deadly but also have so many, like...
Medical applications.
Yeah, like medical marvels,
And
you know?
it's a real paradox.
It is. So let's start.
Yeah, let's dive in.
Way back in the 19th century Germany,
Okay.
we got this guy, Justin Kerner, and he's...
What a name.
I know what a name. But not only was he a doctor, but he also dabbled in poetry.
Renaissance.
Talk about a hyphenate. Dr. Poet.
I know.
Anyway, so he's looking into all these outbreaks.
Outbreaks of what?
We called it sausage poison.
Makes sense. Yeah, and people were getting sick left and right, and it all traced back to, you guessed it, smoked sausage.
Ah, the culprit. Smoked sausage.
So he starts documenting everything, the drooping eyelids, the swallowing difficulties, the paralysis, and it's all like textbook botulism. I mean, what we know now as botulism.
It's incredible how thorough his observations were.
I know. And get this. He even theorized that this poison could have medical uses.
Wow, he was way ahead of his time.
I know. Right. And to think he wasn't even the first one to encounter botulism,
Oh, really?
Yeah. Historians believe that a Byzantine emperor back in the 8th century
8th century.
banned blood sausage
Wow.
because of a potential botulism outbreak.
Wow, that's some serious food safety awareness for the time.
I know. Talk about being ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
But it really makes you wonder how often botulism went undetected, throughout history.
Yeah, makes you think.
And it wasn't until much later
What?
that this Belgian biologist, Emil van Erminghem,
Emil van Erminghem.
isolated the bacterium that causes botulism,
And what was that?
Clostridium botulinum.
Clostridium botulinum. And is that where the name comes from?
You got it. Actually comes from the Latin word for sauce, botulin.
Wow, sausage poison.
And we got sausage poison, named after sausage, and
Well, it all comes back to sausage in a way.
but yes.
But can we talk about the potency of this toxin for a second?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like a microgram dose, practically invisible, can be lethal.
It's true, just a tiny amount.
How is that even possible?
It's mind-boggling, isn't it? Imagine this. A single eyelash worth of this toxin, if distributed effectively, could theoretically impact millions of people.
Millions.
Millions. It all boils down to how it interacts with our nerves.
Our nerves, okay.
Botulinum toxin.
No.
It disrupts the signals that tell our muscles to contract.
So basically the muscles are just frozen.
In a sense, yes, they're temporarily paralyzed.
That sounds both terrifying and kind of amazing.
It is. It's both. And that's why understanding the mechanism is so important.
Okay, so how does it actually work?
Okay, so picture this. You have these proteins called snare protein, and they act like couriers.
Couriers?
Yeah, they deliver messages from the nerves to the muscles, telling them to contract.
Uh-huh.
Now, botulinum toxin, it intercepts these couriers.
Like cuts off the communication.
Exactly. It prevents those messages from reaching the muscle.
So no message, no contraction.
Like,
So does that mean the muscles are just stuck like that?
well, thankfully, no, it's not permanent. The effect eventually wears off.
Oh, okay.
Because our bodies, they're pretty amazing. They produce new snare protein.
So new couriers come online?
Exactly. And that's why those Botox injections need to be repeated every few months,
That explains the repeat business.
The new couriers are back on the job delivering those messages again.
So it's not a one-time thing.
Not at all. It's a continuous process.
Well, that's good to know because I was picturing people with permanently frozen muscles.
That would be quite a sight, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but getting back to Justin S. Kerner, our poet physician, his hunch about the medical uses of this toxin, it turned out to be spot on.
It's amazing how sometimes these early insights can be so prescient.
Yeah, so the early research focused on treating dystonia.
Dystonia.
Yeah, it's a condition that causes involuntary muscle contractions.
Oh.
And this was a game changer, especially for people who had no other options besides surgery.
So this toxin was offering a new path.
Exactly. And then enters Alan Scott, a true pioneer in the field.
Alan Scott, what did he do?
He was researching botulinum toxin in primates.
Okay.
And this paved the way for its...
Oh, wow.
And he was able to successfully treat strabismus, misaligned eyes, and blepharospasm, which uncontrollable blinking.
His work is really foundational to everything that came after.
It is. And get this, a single injection could correct strabismus for over a year.
You're kidding, over a year.
Over a year. Imagine the relief for patients who otherwise would have had to undergo surgery.
I know, it's incredible. He even founded a company called Oculinum, which was eventually acquired by Allergan, the maker of Botox.
Oh, wow. So that's where Botox comes from.
Yeah, it's quite a story.
It is. But did you know that the use of Botox in cosmetics was actually a complete accident?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
At accident. I can't say I'm surprised with something like this. this.
Yeah, well, it's a happy accident, I guess.
I guess you'd say that.
So there's this plastic surgeon, Richard Clark,
Right?
and he's performing a
facelift.
And he accidentally severs a patient's facial nerve.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was a really unfortunate situation because it caused asymmetry in her forehead.
I can imagine.
So he's like, what do I do? So he turns to Alan Scott for help.
Alan Scott again?
Yeah, Alan Scott. And he's like, hey, I got this problem. And Alan Scott's like, well, I got this toxin.
And the rest is history.
And it worked. It corrected the asymmetry.
Wow, what a lucky break for that patient.
Oh, right.
Talk about serendipity.
But the real heroes of the Botox beauty revolution?
Who's that?
This ophthalmologist power couple.
A power couple. Okay, tell me more.
Gene and Alistair Carruthers.
Gene and Alistair Carruthers.
They really refined the techniques for using botulinum toxin for wrinkles and brow lifts and all that stuff.
They were pioneers in their field.
Yeah, they were meticulous. They mapped out facial muscles, studied injection depths, and developed protocols that are still used today.
That's impressive.
And so by 2002, the FDA approves Botox for treating glabellar lines,
The frown lines between the eyebrows?
Yeah, those. And then later in 2013 for crow's feet.
So it all started with those very specific uses.
And by 2015, Botox sales had soared past $3 billion.
$3 billion.
$3 billion with a B.
That's incredible. It's become a global phenomenon.
It's crazy how this once feared toxin, became a household name.
It's quite a journey.
But the story doesn't end there, does it?
No, not at all. We've only just begun to explore the vast potential of botulinum toxin.
That's what we're here to do.
So let's dive deeper, shall we?
Let's do it.
It's amazing to me how many of botulinum toxins' medical applications were discovered by accident.
Yeah, like those migraine patients who noticed fewer headaches after getting Botox for wrinkles.
Exactly.
Talk about a welcome side effect.
A very welcome side effect. And it's those kinds of chance observations that really opened up whole new avenues of research.
Yeah, but imagine if we could be more deliberate.
Yeah.
Like more targeted in our search for new applications.
Well, that's where AI comes.
AI.
Yeah, artificial intelligence.
Okay, so I've heard a lot of buzz about AI.
Yeah.
Like how it's changing medicine, but I'm curious to know how it applies to something like botulinum toxin.
Well, think about the sheer amount of data
Yeah.
involved in drug development. Like you have patient record, clinical trial, results, genetic information.
It's a lot.
It's a mountain of information, and it's practically impossible for any human to process it all.
Okay.
But AI can analyze these massive data sets and identify patterns that we might miss, revealing hidden connections and predicting new applications for existing drugs.
So it's like having a superpowered research stint
Exactly.
that can sift through mountains of data in the blink of an eye.
That's a great way to put it. And when it comes to botulinum toxin, AI could help us understand the subtle variations in how different people respond to treatment.
Okay.
And this could lead to personalized therapies tailored to your specific needs and genetic makeup.
So no more one-size-fits-all approach?
Exactly. We're moving towards precision medicine.
That would be incredible, especially for something as complex as migraine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different types of migraines, and finding the right treatment can be a real challenge.
Yeah. You go through so many different things.
Let's try everything.
And it's like nothing works.
But with AI, we could analyze your medical history, your genetic predispositions, even environmental factors, to predict which type of botulinum toxin treatment would be most effective for you.
So it's taking all of that into account.
It's considering the whole picture, and it could also help determine the optimal dosage and frequency of injection, minimizing side effects and maximizing results.
That's pretty amazing.
It's a whole new frontier, and it's not just about finding new applications either.
Okay.
AI could also help us both understand the long-term effects of botulinum toxin use.
So that's important.
It is. This is crucial for ensuring its safety and optimizing treatment protocols.
Makes sense. We need to make sure we're using this powerful tool responsibly.
Absolutely.
But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something a little less high-tech, prison Pruno.
Ah, Pruno.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier, and I have to admit, I'm kind of intrigued.
Well, Pruno, as we discussed, is essentially homemade prison wine.
Oh, dear.
It's a testament to human ingenuity, really.
Yeah, you got to get your kicks somehow.
Exactly. And so inmates ferment fruits, vegetables, starchy foods, whatever they can scrounge up.
Right.
To create this illicit alcoholic beverage.
Resourcefulness at fine.
Right. But the problem is the conditions aren't exactly ideal for safe food preparation.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The warm, low-oxygen environment inside a makeshift prison still. It's perfect for Clostridium botulinum to thrive.
Oh, no.
And often potatoes are the culprit.
Potatoes, wipes.
Well, potatoes can harbor C. botulinum spores from the soil.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And when those potatoes end up in a batch of pruno, the bacteria can multiply and produce toxins.
So even in a controlled environment like a prison, where access to outside ingredients is limited, botulism can still find a way in.
It's a reminder that you can't escape the laws of nature.
It's a sobering thought.
It is. And it highlights the importance of food safety, even in the most unexpected places.
Yeah, no matter where you are.
Now, speaking of unexpected places, botulism can also pose a threat to infants.
Right, you've talked about honey earlier.
Yeah.
What makes infants so susceptible to botulism from honey?
Well, it all comes down to their developing digestive systems.
Okay.
Infants have what we call an immature gut microbiome.
Immature gut microbiome.
Meaning the community of beneficial bacteria living in their intestines isn't fully established yet.
So they're missing some of the good bacteria that help fight off the bad stuff.
Exactly. And without those good bacteria to keep things in check, see, botulinum spores that might be present in honey can actually germinate and start producing the toxin in their intestines.
Scary. So no honey for babies?
No honey for babies. But why aren't older children and adults at risk from honey too?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, once a child's gut microbiome matures, those beneficial bacteria can effectively outcompete C. botulinum, preventing it from taking hold, so honey is perfectly safe for older children and adults to enjoy.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
But we've talked about how dangerous botulinum toxin can be, but we also have antitoxins, right?
We do.
Can you explain how those work and why they're so important?
Sure. So antitoxins are a critical tool in treating botulism.
Okay.
Think of them as specialized antibodies, like tiny soldiers trained to seek out and neutralize the botulinum toxin.
Like a targeted strike force.
Exactly. They work by binding to the toxin molecules, preventing them from attaching to nerve endings and disrupting those crucial snare proteins we talked about earlier.
Oh, so it's like intercepting a missile before it hits target.
That's a great analogy.
Right.
But are all antitoxins the same?
Well, that's what I was going to ask, are they?
Not exactly. There are different types of antitoxins tailored to specific needs.
Okay.
For example, we have BEC, which stands for botulism antitoxin heptavalent, and that's used for adults.
Okay.
And then we have Baby Big.
Baby Big.
Which is botulism immune globulin intravenous.
Human.
Catchy name.
Yeah, well, it's specifically designed for infants.
It makes sense that infants would need a different type,
Yeah.
given their developing immune system.
Absolutely. And it's fascinating how we have this whole arsenal of treatments designed to combat this one tiny but incredibly potent toxin.
It speaks to the advancements in medical science, for sure.
It does. But the story of botulinum toxin, far from over.
I feel like we're just getting started. We are. There's still so much to learn and discover.
Yeah, this deep dive has really taken us on a journey, from that sausage poison in 19th century Germany to the forefront of medical innovation.
It's been quite a ride.
And it's a testament to how scientific curiosity, coupled with a bit of serendipity, can lead to truly remarkable breakthroughs.
It's a story that reminds us to keep asking questions and to never underestimate the potential that lies hidden within nature.
Who knows what other wonders are out there?
Exactly. Just waiting to be discovered and harnessed for the benefit of humanity.
It's an exciting time to be alive, for sure. So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into the world of botulinum toxin, what's the one key takeaway you'd like our listener to remember?
I'd say this. Botulinum toxin is a testament to the power of observation experimentation and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. It's a story that highlights the intricate dance between science and nature and how our understanding of this remarkable substance continues to evolve. It's a reminder that the journey of discovery is never truly over.
Well said. And to our listener, I'd add this. The next time you hear the word Botox, remember that it's just one small facet of a much larger and more fascinating story. It's a story of scientific ingenuity, serendipity, and the incredible potential that lies within even the most unexpected corners of our world.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and who knows, maybe you'll be the one to write the next chapter in this incredible saga.
Now that's something to think about. But for now, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back shortly to explore some of the potential future applications of botulinum toxin and delve into the ethical considerations surrounding this powerful substance. Stay tuned.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Before the break, we were talking about how AI
Yeah.
might change the game when it comes to botulinum toxin research, and it's pretty mind-boggling to think what we might discover next.
What really gets me excited is the possibility of moving beyond just treating symptoms and actually start addressing the root causes of diseases.
Yeah.
AI has the potential to help us understand those intricate pathways,
leading to therapies that are more targeted and ultimately more effective.
So instead of just blocking those muscle signals, like with wrinkles,
Right.
we could figure out how to tweak botulinum toxin to achieve very specific goals.
Exactly. Imagine developing new versions of the toxin, each tailored to a specific task.
Okay.
Some might target different types of snare protein, those couriers we talked about.
Right, the courier.
Others might act on entirely different pathways involved in disease.
So we could have botulinum botulinum toxin that reduces inflammation or helps nerves regenerate or even tackles something like cancer.
It's not outside the realm of possibility.
That's incredible.
And AI can also help us better understand the long-term effects of its use.
Right, safety first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we can ensure its safety and refine those treatment protocols even further.
This deep dive has really been a journey.
It has.
You know, from sausage poison in 19th century Germany to the forefront of medical innovation.
It's a testament to how scientific curiosity, coupled with serendipity, can lead to truly remarkable breakthroughs.
It really is. So as we wrap up our deep dive into botulinum toxin, what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
I want them to remember that botulinum toxin is a testament to the power of observation experimentation and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. It's a story that highlights the dance between science and nature and how our understanding of this remarkable substance continues to evolve. It's a reminder that the journey of discovery is never truly over.
I love that. And to our listeners, I'd add this. The next time you hear the word Botox, remember that it's just one small part of much larger. It's a story of scientific ingenuity, serendipity, and the incredible potential that lies within even the most unexpected corners of our world.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and who knows, maybe you'll be the one to write the next chapter in the incredible saga.
And on that note, we'll wrap up today's deep dive. Thank you for joining us as we explored the fascinating world of botulinum toxin. Until next time, diving